Dr. Gonzo Boogie here again. In this video I want to do a quick review of Jason Goes to Hell, which is definitely the worst film in the Friday the 13th series, and it's also the ninth film in the Friday the 13th series. And wow, just what a shitload of fuck this movie turned out to be. I mean, talk about trying your best for the creators of this movie to just ruin a whole film series. Not that the Friday the 13th series is flawless or anything like that. It definitely has its low points, but this is like the lowest point in the series. It just didn't work out. Like the design for Jason in this movie, I thought was always pretty cool, but that's the thing, you never really get to see it in the film. He's in it like at the beginning a little bit and then at the end a little bit, and it's like, wow. For the rest of the movie you don't even really see Jason. It's just whatever body he decides to take over, which is just weird because Jason, it was never established in any other of the films that he could take over other people's bodies. I guess that was maybe their explanation for why he lives for so long, but that's just a way more complex explanation than he's like a zombie or just a supernatural being that comes back from the dead. I mean, that's what I thought he was. I mean, I guess the writers were trying to reimagine the series, but in my opinion, they just failed horribly. It's like the Highlander 2 in the Friday the 13th series. And I just don't know what they're trying to do with this, because it seems like they're trying to destroy any connections we may have with the rest of the franchise, like isolating its fan base. And it's why would you want to isolate a film's fan base, especially when a movie like Friday the 13th and the series has such a strong fan base, and that's pretty much who's going to be going to the theaters, is the fans of the movie. I mean, especially when you're 9 films in, you have a lot of fans, that are dedicated to the series, like myself, and I just feel like they were trying to isolate the fan base, or they weren't trying, but it just came across like I felt isolated watching this. I was like, I can't connect this with the rest of the series. I don't even feel like I'm really watching a Friday the 13th movie. It always bothered me because of that. And this movie's just weird because in this movie, like I was saying before, Jason like has to take over people's bodies, and in this movie, he has like a half sister whose daughter has a child of her own. Like her daughter's like grown up and has a child, and Jason needs to like rebirth himself through another Voorhees, because he was like destroyed at the beginning of this movie. They actually kill Jason at the beginning of this movie, but the guy doing his autopsy like eats Jason's heart because it's like beating on the table, and he starts staring at it weird, so he eats it. I always thought that was gross and kind of weird, but then he takes over that body. So for a good chunk of the movie, it's Jason in that guy's body. But then that guy takes over other people's bodies, and sometimes very weird. Like in one scene, he takes over this like fatter white guy, and he like strips him down naked, ties him to a table, and starts shaving his face. And then he like throws up this like vomits up this bean out of his mouth into his body. That's how he takes over another person's body. He throws up this like worm. He vomits this worm creature out of his mouth, and and it goes inside the other person's mouth. But I never understood why he strapped that guy down and like stripped him down. I always thought that was very weird. Something that the director or writers didn't really need to put in, but did for some reason. And then right after that, he takes over another person's body. So it's like, what was the point of that? Just a very odd film, and it's like, what does that even have to do with a hockey mask wearing zombie serial killer that kills teens at a camp? But I mean, the writers must have been on drugs or something. I just never got this movie. And don't even get me started about that bounty hunter guy who just happens to know everything about this like stupid new um, Jason. Like what's new about him, how he needs to possess people's bodies. He's looking for Voorhees, just all that. expedition. This bounty hunter guy, Duke, I think his name is, something like that, just happens to know all this. No one else does, and it's almost weird. The town, like, this whole movie, I just think is weird. I guess when it comes down to it, is what I'm trying to say. And like, I just think it's definitely the worst in the series. The only cool things in this movie is when they're in the Voorhees house, which now there's a Voorhees house, just like there's a Myers house and a Freddy Krueger house or whatever. There's a Voorhees house now, and there's like the Book of the Dead in there, so there's an homage to like Evil Dead. And also at the end of this movie, Freddy Krueger's claw comes out of the ground and grabs Jason's mask, which is, you know, the first time hinting anything that like a Freddy versus Jason type battle. So like ever since then, ever since this movie came out, which was in 1993, there's always been like hype over Freddy versus Jason. So when that movie came out, there was a lot of hype to it, and it was really cool, and it was definitely a lot better than this. But that was my review on Jason Goes to Hell, and I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up or leave a comment. And thanks for watching.